The night was supposed to be perfect. The string lights we had spent hours hanging twinkled just right, and the soft hum of music floated through the air, mingling with the excited chatter of our friends and family. This was my engagement party, a celebration of love, a moment that I had dreamed about for years. As I stood there in my favorite dress, with my fiancé by my side, I truly believed nothing could ruin it. But I had underestimated one person, my mother. For as long as I could remember, my mom had been the type to meddle. She always believed she knew what was best for me, even if it meant disregarding my wishes entirely. Every decision I made was met with skepticism, every milestone scrutinized, and when it came to my relationship, she had been no different. She liked to remind me, frequently, that she thought I could do better, though she had never clearly explained what better meant. Still, I had convinced myself that she would let tonight be about me, about us. After all, it was my engagement party. How wrong I was. The night started out beautifully. My fiancé and I were greeted with warm smiles and heartfelt congratulations as we made our way through the crowd. The food was perfect, the decor exactly how I had envisioned it. For a while, I allowed myself to breathe, to enjoy the moment without worrying about what could go wrong. But then, as the evening hit its stride, I saw her out of the corner of my eye. My mom was standing near a cluster of guests, her arms animated as she spoke. At first, I thought nothing of it, just her usual theatrics. But as I moved closer, I caught snippets of her conversation. "I just don't understand why they're rushing into this," she said, her voice loud enough for everyone around her to hear. "Marriage is such a serious commitment. And honestly, I'm not even sure they're ready." My heart sank. I felt the heat rise to my face as I realized what she was doing. She wasn't just doubting me. She was broadcasting her doubts to everyone at the party. I quickly excused myself from the group I was talking to and made my way over to her. "Mom," I said, keeping my voice low, "can I talk to you for a second?" She turned to me, feigning innocence. "Oh, of course, darling," she said, her tone syrupy sweet. "What's on your mind?" I pulled her aside, my hands trembling. "What are you doing?" I asked, trying to keep the anger out of my voice. "This is my engagement party, Mom. Why are you saying things like that?" Her smile didn't falter. If anything, it grew wider. "I'm just being honest," she said. "Someone has to be. You know I only want what's best for you." I stared at her, dumbfounded. This wasn't concern. It was sabotage. "Do you even hear yourself?" I asked. "You're undermining me in front of our friends and family. How is that wanting what's best for me?" She shrugged, her nonchalance like a slap in the face. "You'll thank me later," she said, her voice dripping with condescension. "I'm just saving you from making a mistake." That was the moment something inside me broke. I had spent my entire life trying to meet her impossible standards, trying to earn her approval. But this was too far. This was my night, my happiness, and she was trying to take it from me. I wasn't going to let her. I walked away without another word, my mind racing. I couldn't let her ruin this, not for me, not for my fiancé, and not for the people who had come here to celebrate us. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. If she wanted to play games, then fine. But this time, I wasn't going to back down. What happened next would not only shock her but leave everyone questioning how well they really knew me. Stay tuned for part 2, where the night takes an unforgettable turn, and I take back control in a way no one saw coming. The moment I walked away from my mother, I felt a surge of clarity and determination wash over me. If she thought she could control the narrative of my engagement party, she was about to learn otherwise. This night was about love, commitment, and celebration, and I wasn't about to let her tarnish that. It was time to take a stand, not just for myself, but for the life I was building with my fiancé. And the best way to do that was to make sure her antics didn't overshadow the joy and meaning of the evening. I found my fiancé near the garden, chatting with a few friends. The moment he saw me, his smile faltered. He could tell something was wrong. I pulled him aside, taking a deep breath to steady myself. "She's at it again," I said, keeping my voice low so no one else could hear. She's saying things to stir up drama. His jaw tightened, but his eyes softened with understanding. What do you want to do? He asked gently. Always supportive, always on my side. I'm not going to let her ruin this, I said firmly. But I think we need to make a statement, a united front, something she can't ignore or twist. He nodded, a hint of a smile tugging at his lips. Let's do it. Together, we walked back to the center of the party, where the music was playing and guests were mingling. I grabbed the microphone from the DJ, my hands trembling slightly as I held it to my lips. The room grew quiet as everyone turned their attention to us, their faces expectant and curious. Hi, everyone, I began, my voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside me. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. This party is about celebrating love, and we're so grateful to have each of you here to share this moment with us. I glanced at my fiancé, who gave me a reassuring nod, his hand resting gently on my back. But, I continued, my tone growing firmer, I also want to take a moment to address something. You see, throughout my life, there have been people who doubted me, people who thought they knew what was best for me better than I did, and sometimes those people were the ones I loved the most. There was a ripple of murmurs in the crowd, but I pressed on, my gaze steady. I've always believed that love means supporting each other, trusting each other, and standing together no matter what. And tonight, as I look around this room, I'm reminded of how lucky I am to have found someone who does exactly that. I turned to face my mother, who was standing near the back of the room, her expression frozen in a mix of shock and guilt. Mom, I said, my voice soft but resolute, I know you've always wanted what's best for me, but tonight isn't about doubts or fears. It's about celebrating the life and love I'm building with the person I choose. And I need you to trust me, just like I've always trusted you. The room fell silent, the weight of my words hanging in the air. For a moment, my mother just stared at me, her face unreadable. Then, slowly, she nodded. It wasn't an apology, not yet, but it was a start, and for now, that was enough. I handed the microphone back to the DJ and turned to my fiancé, who pulled me into a tight hug. You were incredible, he whispered, his voice filled with pride. The rest of the night passed in a blur of laughter, dancing, and heartfelt toasts. My mother stayed quiet, watching from the sidelines but refraining from any more comments. It was clear that something had shifted, not just in our relationship, but in the way I saw myself. For the first time, I felt like I had truly taken control, standing up for my happiness and refusing to let anyone dictate it for me. In the days that followed, my mom and I had a long, honest conversation. She admitted that her actions had come from a place of fear of losing me, of watching me make choices she couldn't control. But I made it clear that love isn't about control. It's about support and trust. And while rebuilding that trust would take time, I was willing to try. As for me, I carried the strength of that night with me into my future. It wasn't just about standing up to my mother. It was about standing up for myself, for my fiancé, and for the life we were building together. And in the end, that was what